Story: The story of 3 bundles of sticky rice straw. Once upon a time, in the city of Naha on the island of Okinawa, there lived 2 women and their children. When the boy was 7 years old, his mother was often sick. One day she called her son to her bedside and said, "My dear son, I don't have much longer to live. I have no assets to leave you except 3 bundles of sticky rice straw in the barn. Now, it's your inheritance. 7 days after Mom dies, bring those bundles of straw to the food store to exchange for some sticky rice flour. Mom will tell you the story about those 3 bundles of straw. Before, when my mother was still the queen. One time, there were many people working in the capital. Mother suddenly looked out to sea and saw a very beautiful ship offshore. She blurted out loudly, 'Oh! What a beautiful ship!' Everyone stopped and looked at the ship. The king was very angry about it and he declared that any woman who made everyone waste time would be kicked out of the capital. So after that, my mother was forced to leave the capital. Before leaving, the king's father gave his mother 3 bundles of sticky rice straw. My son, please remember this story." After saying the last sentence, the mother died. 7 days after the mother passed away, the son brought 3 bundles of rice straw to the food store as his mother told him to do. But no one wanted to exchange anything for him. He just sat there for 2 days. On the 3rd day, a boss came into the store and asked him if he sold that bundle of straw. He said he only wanted to exchange it. Took glutinous rice flour. The boss agreed to exchange him 1.5 kilos of glutinous rice flour. He took the glutinous rice flour and went to the store. He sat at the door for a whole day. Finally the store owner asked, "Hey boy, can you give me that sticky rice flour? This flour is my entire fortune. I can't give it to you unless you give me something in exchange. So you sell it to me." "No, I won't sell it either. But if you give me that kettle, I will give you this powder." The shop owner agreed to give the boy a flattened kettle to take the sticky rice powder. The boy went to the blacksmith shop again. And sat there for 2 days. Finally the blacksmith came to the boy and asked, "Can I sell this kettle to you?" "I don't sell. But if you want, I can trade you a sword." "So what kind of sword do you like?" "Give me an old, blunt sword and I'll give you this kettle." The blacksmith gave the boy an old sword without a scabbard. Then the boy went to the beach, where a Chinese ship was docked. He felt so tired that he took a nap. A thief passed by and saw the sword the boy was resting his head on. He came up with the idea of stealing the sword. But as soon as he touched the sword, it turned into a snake. The few times he touched the sword, it turned into a snake, so he could not get the sword. The captain of the ship parked nearby saw everything. He called the boy back and said, "Hello. Take your sword and climb aboard my ship." When the boy was on the ship, the captain told him to sell him the sword. But the boy said, "I will sell the sword but I want a lot of money." "Oh, a Chinese ship like this and you don't have money to pay for it?" "I will give you as much as you like." "Oh, actually I don't want to sell it for money. I just want to exchange it for your wind curtain." "Oh, wind curtain? Please choose whichever screen you like." "I like an old, torn one." The boy took the wind curtain and set off to King Kanasi's capital. He went into the garden in the capital and covered a small mound in the garden with a wind curtain. Then he lay down there and took a nap. Just then a nightingale landed on the curtain of wind and began to sing. Immediately other birds also sang. The king saw everything, so he called the boy over and asked, "Hey, boy, please sell me that wind curtain." "Please forgive me, king, but I cannot sell that wind curtain." Lice can be exchanged for two things. What are those two things? The waves of the sea and all the waters of this kingdom. When the king heard that, he thought that the boy must have lost his mind and rambled on, but did not understand what he was saying. But the king was wrong. Right after the king promised him, the boy immediately managed all the water at sea and inland. If anyone wants a soft drink, they must pay him 10 cents. If anyone wants to use sea water, they must pay him 5 cents. Everyone in the kingdom felt tired and had to pay the boy every time they needed water. They wanted to be able to use the water comfortably like before, so they petitioned the king. The king also found it inconvenient to let that boy control the water supply among the people. The man called the boy over and said, "I will give you a lot of money if you let the people use the water freely like before." The boy refused the king's request. The king announced again, "Okay, we will fight each other. Whoever wins will be given the right to control the distribution of water in the kingdom." "I'm not afraid to fight with the king. But before we fight, please allow me to ask a question, Your Majesty. When your mother was still queen, she was chased out of the capital because she said something that made the workers hesitate for a moment. So who was the one who chased mother and child out of the capital?" When the boy said that, the king was the first to realize who he was talking about. The king told the boy, "I will give you the throne if you agree to let everyone use the water like before." Then the king ceded the throne to his only son. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.